Ladies and germs, and I mean germs, because Eason, Gary, Michael, God, have a shower, guys. Honestly,
I just
uh,
did.
yeah, it's the beard, Gary. It's the beard. You look like such a mountain man with that beard on now. You
Yeah,
belong
it's
up here
it's
with Eason in the flannel.
Jeremiah Johnson.
Yeah, you're going full Canadian on us now. All right, ladies and germs, it is February the 12th, 2026, and this is Office Hours, everybody. This is Office Hours. We have got some very cool stuff to cover today, and we'll get to that in the last 30 odd minutes or so. Some announcements about how the program is evolving. I have had this epiphany, and I'm excited to share just the tip of the iceberg of that epiphany with you guys later on today. But we're also going to dive into selling environment, right? Who here has found it difficult at times to sell? Anybody here found it difficult at times to sell something to somebody? Right? It's uncomfortable, it's awkward, you're not really sure how to do it, you're not sure when to do it, what the timing is like, what to say, all that stuff. So, we're going to dive into how to make selling much, 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 much easier and to ensure that you're selling at the right time and selling the right way so that people actually want to buy what you're offering. Because the only way to change someone's life is to get them to buy in. Right, Gigi? They got to buy in. They got to buy in. Whether that's with their wallet, whether that's with their time, whatever it is, they got to buy in. Okay. So before we dive into that, though, this, my friends, is office hours, which means it is time for you to take the microphone. Steal it away from me. Take the mic and take the mic from Mike and tell me what's bothering you right now? What's standing in your way? Easton, come on, man. What's going on? What's preventing you from getting the way you want to go? What's standing in the way? How can we grow your business and market you better?
For me, I think it's what we talked about last week. It's getting exposure, so I wasn't doing as many videos and stuff. Some personal stuff got in the way.
Yeah.
Especially from the last week, I put out a couple more videos. We just went back to fundamentals, so we got more exposure activities. From those exposure activities, we saw what was working and what wasn't working, and then the
Okay.
stuff that we were able to that was working well, we turned it into ads, so we got a little more exposure. And then just chatting with the team. So for this event, I partnered up with another company to do this event with, and found out later toward the end of last month that they didn't even start marketing. So we, so just having those touch bases. So I was doing it with my own team, but not with the team that we partnered with.
Marketers that
Uh,
aren't marketing.
yeah.
Love it.
uh, and so we yeah, and then for you guys gave me a kick in the rear last week too on motivating me to just put out more content, and I was putting too much pressure on myself to edit and make it flashy, and um, yeah, the last like 7 days it's been a turnaround for me.
Gotcha. Okay. Do you use any lead script or tools, Eason?
Yeah, we used to. I'm not using it now. Just using the networks that I have currently, and not. We used to use. I can't remember the name of it, but we used to. The team used to scrape leads and then do cold outreach before.
Yeah.
Uh, but we haven't done it in a while.
Yeah, that's one of those things that I think is an underestimated and undervalued concept when you're trying to fill a room. Does anybody know
Mhm.
what I'm talking about when it comes to scraping leads? Drinka says no. GG no. Okay, so the one that I love, Eason, and I've used before is called Lead 7, I think.
Mm.
So essentially, you guys, it is a online crawling tool that you type in some parameters. So, for example, in Eason and I's case, and this would make sense for Drinka, but probably nobody else, you could say, give me all the pet stores in the Fraser Valley and basically put up some geographic fences, right? So from this spot to this spot. And it will scrape through the internet and pull up all of that information. and it'll compile an actual list for you of addresses, phone numbers, names of businesses, owners of businesses, all this information. It'll actually put it into a spreadsheet for you. So you could then upload that into a CRM and you could send, as Eason put it, some cold email or something like that. So, hey, everybody, you know what? If Eason wants to work with, home renovations experts and services companies, he could type that in and say, I just want to work with home services companies from Surrey, Langley, Abbotsford, Delta, right? So just kind of do the grid, move west to east or something, right? Put that in there, get all of those, because there's probably going to be 300 or 400 companies in that range, at least, maybe more, in the home services business. You can throw those in a database, and you can probably just start cold emailing some of them with something really, really awesome to offer. Right? So that's a really effective exposure activity that allows you to spend a short amount of time for a laser focused result. Does that make sense, Eason?
Yeah, I haven't used Lead 7 before, but the software we got a lot of leads. It actually helped build one of the Facebook groups that we had from the States. It's awesome. Yeah, I haven't. I should go back to using the software to reach. That's an awesome exposure activity.
Right? I mean, the fact, you guys, is that as much as we love content to be pinpoint laser focused, it's not. Right? Like it's generally not. It's a widespread shotgun kind of concept. And what we hope is that we just do enough of it in around a range of people that we want to attract and around a subject that we want to attract that we're eventually pulling our audience out. Right? Content is rarely one piece of content, huge, massive results. Can we all agree on that? Right? It's normally an aggregate. Whereas lead scraping is a far more targeted and focused marketing activity. Now, there are some some pitfalls, though. Eason, what would be a pitfall of lead scraping like that?
You have to. It's kind of like it's like AI. You have to vet the information. You can't assume all of it's legitimate. It's all recent because some people, like, if they shut down their business or they transition another business, they sometimes keep the same phone number or parts thereof.
Sure.
So when you reach out, they're a little upset that data, A, how you got the data, B, that there's information out there that's old and that they haven't taken down. So you're highlighting that.
Yep.
Those are the bigger pitfalls. What I've seen also that works is getting to take one small step instead of here's the sale, like, up front, right? So, hey guys, I know you're right. So for me, it was that was the conversation with the team. I was like, what's getting the gap? Hey, you got a list of 1,000 people. I'm like, that's cool, but you can't do a 0 to 100, right? Let's get them to 10% or 5%. Let's invite them to the group. Here's a resource that we can help them with.
Yeah.
And that was the helper.
Yeah.
It's a baby step. Yeah.
Gary, this is kind of one of those cool things that eventually, if you want to go much bigger and wider for what you're doing, right? A lead scraping tool that has specific parameters in a geographic space would be great, because then suddenly you get a whole list of people. And if you're able to send them some sort of quick video about something, right? It can really simplify and straightforward the process. And you might get 3,000 or 4,000 names, and you're going to get a whole bunch of people unsubscribing, obviously, or not opening, but you might get 3 or 4 that say yes, and that's all you need.
Right. Yeah, actually, in talking to Steve, he says even if you get one and you get into one place, that guy knows other people, and you end up doing other divisions within the same company, and those guys know their competitors and friends in other industries, and you end up expanding that way as well.
Yep. Yeah. When you're hunting whales, there's a lot of meat.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So there's different departments you can work with and all sorts of cool stuff like that. So yeah, Eason, that's one thing that when you want to do your next one, I would consider some lead scraping tools, and make sure you have a good front end quick hit, probably less than 5 minutes of time invested offer at the very front end of any of that type of marketing, you guys. Right? Remember the 4 wallets. Does everybody remember the 4 wallets? Or is this a vague concept? Easton wouldn't know it because I haven't explained it to him.
Doesn't ring a bell.
No, Gigi, you're like the 4 wallets. What is he talking about? Oh. Drinka, no 4 wallets. Haven't we talked about this? Is this a conversation I had entirely in my own mind? Is that what happened?
I think so.
Either that or maybe it was a year or so ago.
Oh, gosh. Okay, 4 wallets, you guys. Put a big plus sign in the middle of your paper. Big plus sign. Big plus sign. Okay, top left quadrant is money. Top right quadrant is time. Bottom left quadrant, status. Bottom right quadrant, ego. Gary has 4 wallets, my friends. Gigi, you have 4 wallets. You are always buying from one wallet to fulfill another wallet.
Did you say ego?
Ego.
Okay.
Right? So if Eason is asking for time, right? If you're giving away something, this is why some people struggle to give away something even for free. I've had this problem, right? If you're struggling to give away things even for free, because you're asking too much. Because you're actually pulling from their time wallet, their focus wallet. Does this make sense, everybody?
Yep.
And so if you don't ramp up how much value you're giving in the other 3 quadrants, it's unlikely that your offer will work. Right? So when Gary and I have talked about what he's doing, right? 5 minutes for $5,000. Is that what it is, Gary? Right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I pay people.
Yeah. $5,000 for a 5-minute conversation.
Yep.
That's the premise. And that's intriguing. It's interesting. People are like, what he's talking about. So the time element of what you're asking for is small, 5 minutes. The reward in the wallet of money is big, $5,000.
Yep.
So really what your entire marketing message and the argument you have to present is all about status and ego, right? How does this help their status in their own company? How does this help their status with their friends? How does this help their status with the people that they really, really respect? How does this help their ego? Do they get better skills? Do they get more notoriety? Do they get better recognition?
Yeah.
And think about this too, guys. Money and status are often associated with one another. That's why they're above the other, right? People will spend money to increase status all the time. And the fact is people, right, have this really, this element of, I don't want to invest my time because of their, like, it's going to compromise who I am. It's wasting my time, right? That's an ego question. It's not worth it for them. So does this make sense, you guys? Everyone has these 4 wallets, and you know you've got a winning offer, Eason. You know you're going to crush it when you're asking from one wallet and fulfilling 3. Yeah, Gary likes that one, I'm sure. That little formula.
I do.
Yeah.
No,
It's
I
like-
love it too. I'm gonna write up on the whiteboard or
Yeah. It's a good
on the
one.
wall here.
And I call it, so basically think about it, everything's moving away, right? So if you are wanting to get people into the green zone, which is in the middle, right? So if you're asking for a lot of money, Eason, so it's going way out far on that top left quadrant. It's pushing way out what you're asking for. You've got to pull them way back the other way with how much time you're saving them, what you're doing for their personal ego, right? Their internal skills, their confidence, their courage, how they feel about themselves, and how much you're cranking up their status. When you can pull it all the way back into the green zone, which is basically in the middle, you know you've got a really good offer. It's pretty cool, right? It's a concept I use all the time internally. I've never talked about the 4 wallets with you guys.
I've known you in a while. It's the first time I'm hearing it. I love it.
All right. All right. Well, that's
Appreciate it.
a little Michaelism that I've obviously kept in my back pocket, in my wallet.
In your wallet.
In my wallet. Yeah. But that's when you see an offer and you're like, oh my gosh, I have to buy this. It's because it's satisfied at least 3, if not all 4 of those things. Or you are going, it's like the Tony Robbins events, GG. You had free tickets to go to Tony Robbins, right? So Tony Robbins is expensive to go, but it's expensive in 2 different ways. It's expensive in money, but it's also expensive in your time. How many days was the Tony Robbins event? You're muted there, darling.
7.
7
Oh,
days.
that event was 5.
5 days, right?
Yeah. And they're
5
like 12
days.
or 16 hours a day.
Yes, they
Yeah.
are. So that
Right? So there is, if it's 12 hours a day, there's 60 hours of your life you're not getting back.
Mhm.
So if you're a Tony fan, you're like, yeah, and he died. Thank you. Done. But if you don't know who he is or what he's about or anything, that's a huge ask. Huge ask. Leave your family, leave your friends, leave wherever you are. Come hang out with me for 12 hours a day, right? And you don't know what you're going to get. We're going to lock the doors in this room and it's going to be something. You don't know what's going to happen. But the fact is, you didn't have to pay anything for it because you got the ticket for free, which is amazing. So you don't ever have to worry about that. So then the status and the ego value that you get from being at the Tony Robbins event has to be so big that it's worth the time investment.
Mhm.
Because that's the true cost to you, right? Is the time.
Yeah. And flying to Germany.
There you go. Flying to Germany. But the fact is that yeah. Carrie's saying, yeah, so sad for you flying to Germany. It's got to be the real small one, Gary, real small one.
Okay. It's Frankenstein.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so that is the 4 wallets, you guys. Always, I hope you keep this one in your back pocket. Keep this one with you because it's a very effective way of understanding how to build out promotions, how to talk to your client about, this thing is free. Why are they all upset about it? Or it's really, really cheap. What's the problem here? It's costing them something else, right? Like Darinka, you might have really inexpensive treats in your store, these cool things, but they're hemming and hawing about a $6 treat. And you're like, okay, where's the actual cost then coming in? Because it takes no time to buy this treat. It's right here. Just buy it, leave, right? It's not expensive. It's $6. So what's holding them back? Right? It's a status or ego problem. And in our particular case, when the raw food space or the holistic food space drink, it's almost always ego. Almost always ego. Rarely is it, I bought let's say it's $15 because we sell more expensive treats. Rarely is it, they get home and their partner looks at them and says, oh my gosh, you spent $15 on a bag of dog treats? You could have spent $8 down at, Winners or whatever. Like, rarely is that going to be the case. They often really don't give a damn. So it's ego. It's almost always ego cost. Now, does everybody understand what I mean when I say ego cost in this particular case?
No,
No?
please elaborate,
Okay.
expand.
Eason, do you know what I'm talking about? No? Gigi, how about you?
I mean, not positively.
Okay, good. Well, then I'm glad I asked the question, right? Darinka, how about you? Does it make sense to you? The ego cost? Do you know what I mean?
No, I'll be honest, and I'd love to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They feel like idiots. People don't like to feel dumb. So when you present an obvious choice, raw food, for example, for dogs, and I look at Gigi and I say, Gigi, can your dog cook? And Gigi's going to say, well, no. And I'll say, well, then why would it ever want to eat cooked food? It doesn't make any sense. how does the person on the other end of that conversation feel?
Like an idiot.
Like an idiot, right? And
Like,
so,
yeah, like
yeah,
you got me. Right.
right? Like,
Right.
and I used to use this tactic, and there are times when it worked really, really well at certain stages of a conversation with a particular type of person. And so you have to judge whether it's right or not. But the fact is, a lot of people, when you're recommending that, they don't want to be sold.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're saying, you know, those treats that you like, temptations is nonsense, it's garbage. They know that it's garbage. It's just convenient. It's just there. They bought it. The cat loves it. The dog loves whatever, right? So they are understanding that it's a better choice. And so somewhere along the line, there's too much cost to their ego to actually buy the product. It makes them feel too foolish to actually make the right decision. Isn't that ridiculous? Right? Now, does it make more sense, Easton, Gary?
I can't believe you've been holding out on this. This is actually pretty interesting.
The 4 wallet stuff?
Yeah,
Yeah.
what caused you to think of this? What motivated you
Gary's,
to think
Gary's
of this?
just totally down the rabbit hole on this now. Andrew, Mr. Dove, I've missed your beautiful face, young man. I'll get back to. I really need some more water and a coffee. Hang on, Gigi. Hold that thought. Everybody, say hello to Andrew.
Hi, Andrew.
Hello,
Hello,
Andrew.
everyone. Good to see you all again.
Yeah. No, guys, you have to do it. You have to all do it this way. Hello, Andrew.
Hello, Andrew.
That's right.
It's a trademark.
Yes, it is.
Gary, you're growing a beard.
Just lazy. It's
It's a look.
that, and it's a whole lot colder in Fort Collins than LA.
Oh, yes.
This morning when I got up, I was checking the weather there. It was 32 in Fort Collins, and it was, geez, what was it, like 58? And uh-oh, there's my maid. Excuse me, be right back. Wait a second, what I wanted to here. That's what happens when you decide to live in a hotel for the rest of your days. You get your bed made for you every day.
Indeed.
Gary.
To-
Okay. Where were we? Oh, we're talking about 4 wallets still, right? Andrew, did I ever talk to you about the 4 wallets? I feel like I showed you the 4 wallets, right? Money, time, status, ego.
Doesn't sound familiar, but
Doesn't? Oh, okay. Wow. Clearly, I had this conversation with an entirely different group of people.
I was like, wait a minute. If Andrew knows,
Mhm.
we haven't heard of it either, Andrew.
oh, okay. I don't feel so bad now. Some
Oh,
stuff comes in and goes out pretty fast, but usually
Oh.
parts of it stick.
You know what's funny is I taught this concept to a group of coaches in NHI in a private workshop. I'm now remembering that I did. And it was about offer design. I thought you were in that group, Gary. Anyway, but
It doesn't ring a bell.
yeah, I built I did a quick workshop. I think it was a 5-day, 1 hour a day workshop called the Magic Genie Offer Workshop.
Hmm.
Huh.
Making your clients' 3 wishes come true. Anyway, I feel like I taught it there. But yeah, so what made me think of it? I guess, Gary, I was trying to figure out how to marry up some of my perspective on things and some of Alex Hormozy's equation perspective stuff. And this was the elixir that I came up with.
Right. Ah, very good. Okay.
And so the idea behind the 4 wallets, Andrew, is that people are always spending from one of 4 wallets, sometimes both, sometimes 2 wallets, in fact, and they're attempting to get something from the other quadrants. So, for example, you're a gym guy, right? Andrew goes to the gym. Andrew is not only spending some money to go to the gym every month with a membership, unless it's part of his townhouse complex or whatever, right? But he's also investing a fair amount of time, right? So, where does that come back for him? Status and ego, right? Increases his status socially, increases his status with his wife, right? Increases status at a number of different things because he's in great shape. Increases his ego, gives him more confidence, gives him more courage, right? Gives him more raw power and strength. And it's not really a big monetary investment. Like, technically speaking, gym memberships are almost negligible on the grand scheme of things, right? My
Well,
wife would
$15
spend
a
more
month.
on Starbucks in a day than most people spend on a gym membership. Right? So it's not a cost to see what I mean, guys? It's like, but he does the gym membership because the monetary cost is almost irrelevant and the status and ego value on the other side is high. Oh, look at that young little one. God, she's getting so big, Andrew, from when I first saw her. Wow.
Yeah, she's almost 3 now. May. You want to say hi? Come say hi.
Hello, little one. You know, when I first saw you, kiddo, you were like this big.
This big,
You're
yeah,
like
she didn't
this
talk so
big.
much.
Yeah.
You want to say bye? She can go outside. You can go say bye?
Talking to Google.
Oh,
That's wonderful.
Yeah, so any other questions about the 4 wallets then, you guys? How does it help you or make you rethink your whole offer a little bit?
Yes, I like it.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of what I'm doing right now. High money, low time. Status is your help. I don't know. Maybe it's you're helping another friend of yours,
Sure.
or maybe that could be the ego part too. I'm helping my other friend.
Mm-hmm.
Status through getting the money. Be able to, I don't know, maybe 5 grand. I don't know. You can get a cheapy used Rolex for that.
Yeah.
Well, still,
Sure.
that's real.
Yep, absolutely. I think what I was trying, as happens with a lot of really cool ideas, it came from me trying to figure out why I couldn't give things away,
Yeah.
why nobody wanted what I was giving away. Good morning, Lisa. Well, afternoon to you. Hello, hello.
Can you talk more about that, Michael?
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Lisa. Are you sick, my dear? Are you struggling with your voice?
No, I'm good. I'm
okay.
okay. I've just been talking a lot.
All right, cool.
Thanks.
You know what I'll do is to help Lisa and Andrew catch up a little bit on what we've been doing, I'll bring up a whiteboard. Does that help you guys? Because then we're all working from a map here. Okay, so let's do it this way. This is just the simplest thing. Okay, here we go. And pardon my, oh no, you know what? I'll do it this way. These are what we call the 4 wallets. People spend from their money wallet. I did not realize I was going to do a whole training on this morning. Okay, their time wallet, their status wallet, or of course, their ego. And so the objective here, everyone, is to essentially build an offer so good, right, that it is likely something that, there we go. You're asking for a fair amount of this, right? So that's going up. Oh, that was fun. I didn't know I could do that. But they're getting a whole lot of time, right? They're getting a massive bump in their ego. Can I make this happen? There we go. Up. and they're getting a massive bump in their status. So the whole point would be to try to get them into what I call the green zone right here. So to have them have a really successful, awesome offer, you may ask a whole lot of this, but then you got to give them a whole lot of these other things to keep them in the green zone.
And this is what I'm giving them.
Yeah.
So I'm giving them 5K and they're spending 5 minutes.
No, so this is a cost. So the costs go this direction, Gary. Costs go this way. Just give me my pencil tool. There we go. Costs go this direction, right? So if something costs
From
a lot of
left to
time,
right.
it goes up here, right? Costs a lot of money, goes up here. Does that make sense?
Costs go away from the
Correct.
center.
Away from center.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So costs go away from center. And so,
that's
yeah, go ahead.
that's to the client.
Yes, cost to the client.
Okay.
Right. So if we, let's go to Andrew's gym membership thing again, right? So
Right.
Andrew's been going to the gym for a while. So this is increasing his status now. But when you first go to the gym, this is why gym memberships struggle. This is why gyms are hard. Because what happens is let's delete these for a second here. Get them out of our way. Because when you go to the gym, okay, what happens is the money, as I said, is almost negligible. So your time, right, goes way out. You have to spend a bunch of
Right.
time. Okay? You don't have any status yet because you haven't been to the gym. So you don't feel or look the way you want yet. Right? So this is actually going to cost, and in fact, you might look like an idiot compared to the other people that are there. Right? Andrew's smiling away. Right? You show up, like me, if I was to go to Andrew's gym right now and try to lift with him, I'd feel like an idiot. Right? Gigi's nodding, right? Yeah. You'd feel stupid, right? You'd be like, oh my gosh, I'm such a wimp. Right?
Well,
A year ago, when I was bench pressing a whole lot and had a little more meat on the bone, then I would have felt differently. Did I need to lose a little around the tummy? I absolutely did. I don't recommend the way that I lost it. But the fact is it's gone. But now there's a whole lot of me gone. So I'm not the same person, right? So status goes down. My ego, I feel foolish, right? Now, I might feel good because I'm going to the gym and I might feel good afterwards. So that might not be such a big cost. But here we go. This is why gym memberships are hard to sell, you guys. Huge status cost, huge time costs, and we don't have a whole lot of benefit yet. Where's the benefit? Well, it's going to be an ego eventually. This makes sense?
so I'm thinking in my situation.
Yep.
I have, because I'm going to pay my client $5,000. I
Yep.
have a negative cost to the client.
That's
So
right.
I'm close to, I'm either close or in the green zone.
Green zone
Okay.
on money. Yep.
Green zone on money. The time that I feel that my client needs to put in is like 5 minutes.
Yep.
So that's such a minuscule cost
Yep.
to the client.
So
that's
Gary's
gonna be in
offer,
the green zone.
we'll do check marks, Gary. Boom, in the green zone there. Boom, in the
Right.
green zone there. Okay?
Status, if they choose to spend the 5K on, like I use the example of the relatively inexpensive Rolex, there's status in having an extra $5,000 somehow, whatever's high status to them for $5,000. I think they get that.
Mhm.
And then I think ego, they're able to help a friend or associate to improve their job, and so I think that would make my client feel really good.
Okay. So, this is such an excellent exercise for all of us, okay? So what we're going to do right now is, Gary, you're going to, within 45 seconds, explain what it is you would ask somebody to do. And I want the rest of the group to tell me where the cost is for the person Gary's talking to. Where would
I
you,
asked-
if Gary was asking you to do this for him, where would the cost be to you? Does that make sense? Everybody with me on this? Okay, excellent exercise. Because Gary, and this is where so many of us get trapped, Gary feels like he's checked all the boxes.
I think so.
But there's actually a box, maybe even two, that he hasn't checked, but he doesn't realize it.
Huh.
This is why the exercise is so important. This is why understanding the psychology of your ideal client is one of the most critical things you will ever do in your business, ever. Eason understands this, right, buddy? You're with me on this completely. Understanding the way this person is thinking about what you're offering them is the single most important reason why you're staying stuck in your sales and your marketing. And I'm not fudging around with that. You're not solving the problem that they actually see because you don't see the problem. It's not a problem for you. This makes sense, everybody? Okay. So Gary, in 45 seconds, and that's what I mean, 45 seconds. This is conversational style. You and I meet, or you're meeting this group of us at a networking event. What would you say to us?
If you'll introduce me to someone that works in either a Fortune 500 company or has a sales team, and I'm able to do business with them, I'll give you $5,000. Shouldn't take you more than 5 minutes to introduce us. I'm done.
Okay. What's the cost to you? Do you feel comfortable with it?
I
mean,
don't know. I don't know him yet.
Correct. Okay. So where is that cost coming in, Gigi? It's not money or time.
I was going
Probably
to say,
trust and ego.
yeah, I was going to say ego, but it could be trust too. I mean, it could be
Sure.
status.
Okay, so Gigi's feeling a bit of an ego cost here. I'm just going to draw the lines as we go. So there's an ego cost. I don't know who this guy is. I don't know if I trust him. What else? What else is happening?
Well, then maybe I should be adding on. Okay, my partner's been doing this for 25 years, and he's got $1.3 billion worth of verified sales increases for companies like Johnson and Johnson, Procter and Gamble, Toyota, Ford Motor Company, Coca-Cola.
Okay. I love the proof, Gary, but we don't need it yet.
Okay.
We haven't bought the one thing that we need to buy first. Eason, you wanted to add something? Where do you see the cost?
It's status because it was about not knowing Gary. Because if I refer someone bad, it's gonna lower my status with those people.
Boom.
Right. So had I like I actually referred you to the chamber event because I know it brings up my status. Whereas Gary, if I'm meeting him for the first time, I don't know any information. The information came after when you ask more questions. But yeah, if I don't know, it could I could be more fearful now than anything else.
That's right.
And I see that working with people I don't know. However, my my client base right now is purely friends and family,
Mhm.
so like I've got, I don't know, 2,000 phone numbers in my cell phone, so I
Yep.
need to go through those, and all I and so the
So
the
let me hang on a sec,
name.
Gary. Let me hang on a sec.
Uh-huh.
So there's a trust status going on here equation. Okay.
Right.
But there's another part to this.
Okay.
Okay. Right? Gary's going to pay us some money. That's fine. But the
Right.
question is who would want to go and do that right now?
Yeah, these are mostly strangers.
Right? Even if they're not strangers though, Gary. Right? The fact is that you're asking somebody to go and do something to make a connection on your behalf, right?
Yes.
Without knowing exactly what these other pieces unfold like.
Right.
And so your offer is excellent. That's why it is succeeding for Steve, because he's checking off these three boxes.
Right.
Okay, see what I'm getting at? There is a cost somewhere every time. And it's not about offsetting the cost. I want you guys to remember, you will never build an offer. Even Alex Hormozy says this in his offers book. The fact is we'll never build an offer that instantly makes someone super thin and perfectly fit in 0 seconds for no money.
Oh, totally.
Right? Like it's just, we all know this is an impossibility. So don't try to make an offer that checks all 4 boxes. You want to make an offer that checks all 3 or 3 of the 4. There's a cost somewhere. And so, Gary, it's not to solve the status problem, it's to be aware of the status problem.
Okay.
That you are asking them to invest their status in their network of people to get a result.
Gotcha.
Does this make sense, everybody?
So my people are spending a little bit of status.
That's
I
right.
don't know. Call it status
And
Bitcoin or status.
That's right. That status
Beads.
coins. Yep.
Yeah.
That's right. See how I'm framing this, you guys? Is this helping make sense of what we're actually talking about here?
You know, like the website that we're talking about building, I've got I don't know, half a dozen videos of
Mhm.
corporate executives saying how this has helped them
That's
in their
huge.
Okay.
That's huge. But here's the thing. So as soon as you hand me a set of videos, where does the cost go?
The cost goes closer to the green.
No. What cost increases when you hand me videos?
Time.
Correct. Now you're asking for my time.
Oh, it's 6 minutes.
Yeah, but you doesn't think it matters because it doesn't matter to you, Gary. You understand the
Okay.
value. It's irrelevant to you, right?
Right.
But as
Okay.
Gigi was asking about 15 minutes ago, she says, Michael, please talk to the fact that I want to give stuff away and people don't want it
Right.
because 6 minutes is too much money.
Okay.
Am I making sense, you guys? And it's what I'm getting at here is you don't have to solve all the
$5 grand?
problems, right? You don't have to solve all the problems. You have to be aware of the problems so that you can put into their minds the story that solves the problem for themselves. Okay, please write this down, you guys. Please write this down. People don't buy when you believe. People buy when they believe.
Mm. That's what I was running into there.
Mm-hmm. That's right. And here's the next layer to that. People believe their words way faster than they ever believe yours.
Say that one again, number 2.
People believe their words way faster than they will ever believe yours.
Yep. Yeah.
Could you say it from the beginning again, please?
Sure. People buy, right? Or sorry, people don't
People
buy
don't buy
when you believe it,
when I
Right.
believe.
right? Sorry, yes, people don't buy when I believe it, if you're going from yourself. People buy when they believe it.
Yeah. Okay.
And people believe their words way faster.
So, Gigi, when you're talking about not being able to give things away for free, right? It's because they don't believe it yet.
Mm-hmm.
And part of the reason, so what you're asking for, okay, so it's low on the time amount or on the dollar amount, sorry,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it has no bearing there. You've checked off the dollar. If you're giving away something for free, what would it be? A discovery call with you, a session with you? What's the idea here?
Yeah, discovery call, sure.
Okay. So how long is that call?
Usually 20 minutes.
Okay. So I would say that's about a here on the time scale. All right. So the question is, do I trust? Okay. And will this, look at my writing with a pen like that, fix this? Doesn't cost me much time. Or sorry, much money. It's free. Can't cost me anything. Great. So how do we check these two boxes? That becomes the question that they have to answer in their mind. Therefore, we have to answer for them.
Hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Don't solve for all equations. Right? You asking for their time. So how do we make it that you're incredibly trustworthy? Or that they believe you will actually fix or give them the outcome that they desire? We often think, you guys, that selling the free thing is easy. But quite a lot, we've seen evidence that something that costs money and or more time that actually is more believable to work sells easier. Right?
Yeah.
So maybe it's the promise, Gigi, of 20 minutes with you that is too big. They don't get it. They don't think it's true. Or maybe it's that, you know, as we were talking about with Darinka and the dog treats, if she can fix me in 20 minutes, that's embarrassing.
Yeah, well, I was thinking about the fact that it hits the ego because a lot of people really don't want to change when it comes down to it. It's like, oh, I like my pattern because it serves me.
Yeah. Yep. So then it's about, you know, sorting through enough people to find the ones that
And
want change.
you're right.
Right? Sifting your warm audience to find the leads that are hot, 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 hot.
Mhm.
And that's why we talk about being consistently present over a long period of time. Right? So that the coals in your lead group, in your audience, finally catch flame. But that's good, Gigi. That's why, right? Now, there's a couple of things that you can add into any offer like this, any free offer that make it more appealing for sure. And so these are, I mean, I can just segue right into some of the sales stuff that that I was going to talk about, because you've all heard the terms scarcity and urgency, right?
Yeah.
Right. We've all heard these terms, scarcity, urgency. Anybody not heard these terms before? I'm pretty sure that we've been together long enough that we all heard these terms before. Although I thought I'd taught the 4 wallets before, so you never know. Right? So for me, I've actually come to realize that I don't believe in urgency as a separate thing. Okay? To me, it's just another scarcity attribute. Does that make sense? Right? If it's urgency as far as timing is concerned, this is a 2-week sale. Well, that's the scarcity. It's only available for 2 weeks.
Right.
So with a free offer like that, Gigi, I would add a ton of scarcity into it and see if that makes it work better. right? A ton of scarcity.
'Cause then you got FOMO going on.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. So, okay, really quick question, you guys. Um, we can talk about the sales stuff, right? And creating a better selling environment. Or we can talk a little bit about the big bad mouse. So,
What's the big bad mouse?
which one? Which one do we want to talk about? Do we want to talk about how to sell more effectively, or do you want to talk about the big bad mouse?
What does that mean?
You're gonna have to find out.
Oh, what's the criteria for making a decision then?
So one improves, well, both of them obviously improve sales, but one of them improves your marketing and your messaging quite a bit as well.
Oh, I think we got to go with that.
I like C though. Option
like C?
C.
Yeah, what's that?
Both.
Ah, well, we've only got so much time there, handsome man. Yeah, yeah. I'm using scarcity as we speak, I guess, aren't I? So what's our consensus, you guys? What do we think? Do we want to talk about rodents, or do we want to talk about more sales? What's the consensus across the board here? Now, it's not either or indefinitely. It's just either or today.
Which do you feel is, well, Gigi said one that she would like. Let's do that. And that was the only input, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm fine either way.
fine either way. Darinka, how about you?
If I had to vote, it'd be rodents.
Yeah, your vote is rodents.
If I had to, yes.
Good way.
Darinka's either way. How about you, Eason?
I like to hear the messaging part that you mentioned. I think it's the mouse one.
Yeah, you want to talk about Big Bad Mouse? Okay, I think we have a rodent consensus here.
Alrighty then.
Everybody wants a rodent.
Get a clean sheet of paper out for it.
There we go.
The mouse that roared.
The mouse that roared. That's right. Lisa, you all good about talking about rats? Mice, not rats. They're different. Yeah, you're good with that? All right. Okay, so we'll start it off this way. Show of hands. Who here has heard the term build a better mousetrap? Everybody heard that? Yeah, Lisa's heard that. Andrew's heard that. Gary, okay, perfect. Build a better mousetrap. The tricky part, and this book, one of my all-time favorites, although a very dense read, okay, is all about building a better mousetrap. Right? Eason, you've read Blue Ocean Strategy, haven't you? Oh, I think Eason's on a call maybe right now. I don't know. Yeah, Eason, you've read Blue Ocean? I think you're muted there, buddy. I can't hear you. No, still don't have you. Yeah, he's gonna have to shake his computer.
So can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Like an Etch-a-Sketch?
Sorry.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, sorry. I read it about 5 years ago.
Okay, cool. So, Blue Ocean Strategy, you guys, is fantastic. The tricky part is that it asks people to do something that for most of us is actually almost impossible. Okay? Because the concept is, and now we all kind of do it in our own little way, but the whole concept really of Blue Ocean Strategy is to try and be unique in your marketplace so that you are not competing with anybody else, right? Most marketplaces are what they describe as a red ocean. So it is an ocean filled with, bloody body parts of business war and those that want to come feed have lots of things to feed on. Whereas what you're looking for is a blue ocean. So it's just you swimming on your own. There's nobody that you're competing against, and your clients see you as the only option for them. Right? We're all familiar with this concept. I don't have to go any further with it. Okay, cool. So I love it. It's great. But most of us think that it's about us and it's about the product. Anybody agree with me there? It's about you and it's about what you're offering, right? What your service is, being unique.
Well, it's what they need. I mean, that's the whole, I don't know, it's what does the client need? I mean, that's the whole sell this pen thing.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. So what I want to encourage you to do is when you think blue ocean, I want you to pull away from thinking about the mouse trap. So stop trying to build a better mouse trap and start building a bigger, better mouse. Right? The BBM. So the BBM is a term that we use in the gaming world or in tabletop role-playing or storytelling called the big bad monster, right? What's the big bad? What's this big, horrible villain thing that's out there? Most of us spend so much time trying to work on our product, work on our service, make ourselves unique. But guys, I want to encourage you. Everybody is doing that. So many people are doing that. What I want to encourage you to do is spend some time creating a much more dangerous, much more vicious, much more predatory and monstrous mouse rather than mouse trap. Exactly, Gary. Right? Make this thing 32 feet tall. Make it have massive fangs. Make it like as fast as a freaking jet plane. Make it super duper strong like Andrew Dove. Like make this mouse absolutely treacherous. And then present your solution. Because what happens then is suddenly your audience, your clients realize how dangerous the predator is that they're dealing with, how really bad their problem is that they're actually struggling with. And they change from looking for any solution to looking for the solution they need right now. And you are right there, talking to them, available. Any questions about this so far? No, so far so good. Yeah. Gigi, I can't hear you. What?
I said, yeah, I think this is making sense.
Right. And so the idea here is I've got a series of really effective questions that I've been working on for a while now on helping you build the big bad mouse. You got to engineer this thing, right? And it has to be something that, because people don't move, right? So one of the tricky parts with Gary's offer, for example, is there is no scarcity in the offer, right? That's one of the ways it's so easy to offer it, right? Do it if you want to. It's super casual. It's really relaxed. But the problem if it's super casual and super relaxed, Gary has no idea which pots on his stove are actually going to boil.
Well, that's part of the process, so that I end up very casually just once I get my list of registered agents.
Yeah.
I give each of them a call once a month. Hey,
Totally.
you want to make some money today?
That's right.
And we
That's
talk. Who do you have in your go through your contacts?
That's
What
right.
do you have?
Yeah. So there's a casualness that makes sharing what Gary's talking about it easy. The tricky part is that that's its downfall. That's one of its Achilles heels, is that it's easy. So it's like, yeah, sure, I could do that. I could not do it. I don't need it today. And probably Gary's talking to people that are, it's not like they're destitute. Right? So that's the only real, there's two flaws, as we talked about in Gary's offer, is that it cost them some status to go and do this, right? And there's not necessarily a sense of scarcity to it. I don't need to do it today. There's no urgency to me doing this, right? That's a wonderful way of selling it. It makes it easy, but that's part of the challenge, right? Remember, I said it's not about solving everything. It's about understanding your framework in which you're operating so you can operate the best within that framework. I am 5'8". The likelihood of me ever playing basketball was pretty minuscule. I only got so much geography to work with here, my friends, right? But that's just the reality of it. If I wanted to play basketball, I was going to have to play it at 5'8", right? Like Bugsy Mogs. I was never going to play at 6'4". I just ain't that big, and I'm not interested in the rack. It's not my thing. So the fact is that we all have parameters around what we're offering and what we're selling and what we're delivering. It's not about making sure that you've covered all bases. It's about making sure that you understand it so that you can frame it properly. Does this make sense, everybody? Okay.
Yes, thank you.
You don't have to solve all the problems. You just have to put your solution in the right framework, which is a part of the selling stuff. We're not going to get to that today. We're going to talk about the big bad mouse instead. So you have to define the villain. You have to make this a creature that is absolutely dangerous for your clients to be up against. Darinka, you've got some good ones in your business. You've got some good ones. We talked about this before, right? Like, who's your villain? We started to talk about this last week, right? And I've continued to massage this idea, and I'm working on a program or a workshop all about developing your big bad mouse, right? Because every great business is a story. Eason, you know this. You're a marketing guy. Every great business is a story. Lisa, you're excited about helping people through this stuff because there's a story there for you, right? There is a product and a brand and a business evolution story. There's your authority business story in there for you. And a story needs three things, everybody. It needs three things, right? It needs the hero. It needs the quest. And then what else does it need, my friends? What else does it need? One more thing.
A villain.
A villain. Or the conflict. What's standing in the way? Right? The villain could be a volcano, or it could be Magneto. I don't know who it is, right? But there's something standing in the way of the hero achieving their goal. If the conflict wasn't there, we wouldn't have a story to watch. And so your client is on that journey. You walked that journey to build your business. So we need the villain. We need the big bad mouse. Everybody with me on this? I'm really pounding home this point, but it's very crucial, right? What is the dragon that you guys get to slay together? And now you got to define it. You got to give it a name, right? Hopelessness, right? In Darinka and I's case, we would maybe go after like Mars bars. People are like, what are you talking about, Mars bars? Well, Mars makes almost like 35% of the entire dog food and cat food chain. They own like 35% of all the brands that are on the market, including all the ones that your veterinarian sells. Right? Your dog food and your cat food's being made by a chocolate bar company. That's our villain. Let's go after him. They don't care about you. They don't care about your dog. They're doing all these nasty things, blah, 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 blah. We could define this villain, Darinka. We could inflate a massive Mars bar with a mouse head on top of it and big, hairy, gross arms, and that could be the villain, right? Not literally, but that could be like what we're picturing in our heads when we're writing our copy, when we're writing out for the client, when we're putting together the offers that we want to make. That's the villain that we're slaying. Right? And so in Gary's case, it's like, what's the villain? right? And this is when I was getting at a few weeks ago, Gary. I'm like, there's some flaws in the offer. And part of the flaw is that there's no big bad mouse. And that's okay. But it's just like, okay, we got to, if we want to add any scarcity into the offer at all, we eventually have to find ourselves a big bad mouse. Right?
Unless we're going to go with the ego side, and your friend you may or may not know it, but your friend that's in corporate sales might be on the precipice of losing his job, and his kid's not going to college and losing the house and yada yada.
Sure. There you go. Now you're finding some pain points. Yeah. Right. It could be about the fact that, your money is meeting the end of the month, but it's just meeting it. Right? You're not really getting anywhere. You hope next year, finally, you get somewhere, but you've said that now 6 years in a row. Gigi's nodding away, right? Like maybe that's, and here's the thing, you guys, is you can have multiple mice. You can have multiple big bad mouse. There doesn't have to be just one. One piece of content, one story, one mouse. But that doesn't mean you can't have multiple stories and multiple pieces of content. Deal? Right? So, who is this big bad mouse? So, you guys ready for my top 5 questions? Top 5 questions? Okay.
Uh-oh.
Here we go. This is how to define your big bad mouse. And these are some doozies. Gigi's going to love these. These are deep mind probing questions where she's going to be like, oh, here we go. Okay. Ready? What's the real enemy here? If we're brutally honest, what's the real enemy? Who are they really? What is it really? And define it. Okay. Is it their inner demons? Lisa, is it, just the inner enemy is complacency with their pain, right? They're just living with this, beat up ego that they have, and they've just grown so comfortable living in this terrible state. It's like the dog sitting on the nail, right? They've just grown comfortable there. Like, what is the villain? Define it. Give it attributes. Give it a name. Describe this thing. What's the real enemy? We all good with that? Okay. If they don't change anything in the next 3 months, what gets worse because this enemy is there? Now, the timeline can be flexible here, right? If there's I put in 90 days because I just like that time frame. People can think out that far, but it doesn't have to be just 3 months or 90 days. It could be shorter, it could be longer. But what happens if they don't do anything? What gets worse? Right? In other words, how does the villain get bigger, nastier, more dangerous if they just sit there and do nothing? Right? So in Eason's case, let's say you're talking about one of these home renovations companies and they don't fix their lead follow-up system, Eason, right? One of the things that you guys are great at, they don't fix this lead follow-up system, right? Well, if they don't fix this in the next 90 days, they're going to lose more leads to the cracks. They'll do all this work on the front end to market, to get their business out there, their SEO stuff, they'll generate leads, and they're going to have even more sand fall through, right? More great leads fall through the cracks because they don't have the system in place. So you're actually going to make the problem even worse. Like you're going to pour even more problem through. And you'll have spent all this money to generate more leads and they still won't be converting because you don't have your system in place. Does that story make sense, everybody? We got that? Okay. Question number 3. Right? So question number 2 is what happens in the next 90 days, right? If they don't do anything, what gets worse? Question number 3, and we always think this way. This is a human psychology element. What gets even worse than that? AKA, what gets even worse than the answer to question number 2? This gets into the 4 wallets, you guys. There's the surface costs, and then there's the under the surface costs. So in Eason's case, right, there is the fact that they're investing time and money into generating leads. They don't have a system, so those leads are falling through the cracks. It's brutal. You're wasting your wallets. That's the answer to question number 2. Is everybody with me on this? The answer to question number 3 in Eason's case might be, and what's worse than that is you actually realize that you're struggling even more as a business owner than you thought you would. That the simple fixes that could actually change this could have been put in place 3 months ago. And now you feel even more foolish. And those bills that you've got coming, now they look even bigger than they did 3 months ago. So question number 3 is, what gets even worse than insert answer to question number 2? Because this is how the brain thinks. We're all with me on this, right? Like, this makes sense to you guys completely? There is the surface problem that we're okay talking about, and then there's the under the surface problem that's actually even worse. You know, the fact that if they don't fix their lead leak, they might have to close up shop. Right? They would actually be making more money as a carpenter working for somebody else. They would make more money going back to the guy they left 3 years ago to say, you know what, to hell with you, I'm going to open up my own business. And they realized now that they were making more money back then. If that isn't an ego cost, I don't know what is.
So this one, you're really diving deeper into the 4 wallets and more the pain points associated with the 4 wallets, I guess.
We have accidentally connected those 2 things. Yes.
Thank you. Awesome.
Yep. Yep. Okay. Are we ready for question number 4? This is the one that Gigi's going to love. She's going to love this question. What are they currently doing that's actually feeding the mouse? What are they actually doing that's feeding the mouse? Right? What are they giving this thing? You know, what type of power are they giving to this creature over top of them? As Gigi said, a lot of this stuff is psychological. So they wind up feeding the mouse because it's energizing. It makes them angry, and angry is power. But then they feel super shitty afterwards, right? It's the crazy 8 that Tony Robbins talks so eloquently about. So what are they currently doing that's actually feeding the mouse? Right? Eason, it might be something like they're just not prioritizing it. They're not prioritizing their lead systems at all. They just keep thinking that if I wake up tomorrow, pick up the hammer, and get back to work, the problem will solve itself. Right? And so when your copy, you guys, and in your content, when you speak to this, it hits at a completely different level, doesn't it? It hits at a completely different level, right? Eason, in his presentation tomorrow, if he says, look, guys, here's the problems if you don't get this solved. The leads are still going to leak. You're going to work really, really hard at getting all this attention on your website and to your social media posts, and you're going to get these people coming through. But if you don't have a follow-up system that's effective and is actually going to work, They're just going to fall through the cracks. They're going to spend 45 minutes waiting for somebody to get back to them, and then they're going to go somewhere else because they have a problem that needs to be solved, and you weren't there to solve it for them fast enough. It's not that you're not good. It's not that you're not good at what you do. You're great at what you do. It's that you don't have a system to follow up with the leads properly. An automated one. And this is what we build for you. You don't have to do it yourself. We'll do it for you, right? It just happens so that people don't feel ignored when they connect with your company. You know, that the phone gets picked up when they call so that you can actually get back to the work that matters. Because if you don't do it, man, oh man, if you keep thinking that picking up a hammer and just getting after it in the morning is going to solve this problem, you're just making the problem bigger by ignoring it. Right? The mold in the corner of the bedroom is just going to grow. You can use an analogy, Ethan, that they would totally understand. Right? That faucet ain't going to fix itself. Is this helping so far, you guys? How's your big bad mouse coming along? You getting some ideas? You can start to envision it. Anybody? Yeah. Okay. Question number 5. We ready for the final one here? I actually have a secret bonus one that we'll talk about after this. But question number 5. What's the moment this turns from annoying into holy shit? What's the moment this turns from annoying into holy shit? Right? In other words, this mouse is stalking them. It's haunting them. What's the moment they finally go, oh my gosh, it grabbed me. It caught me. In Easton's case, is this the I haven't taken a paycheck in 6 months scenario? Is this the I'm going to have to let somebody go? Is this the I'm defaulting on my van payments 3 months running now? Like when's the holy shit moment? Is it the wow, I got 1,400 people to hit my website and generated one lead? What the hell's going on? Right? And I'm using real numbers for Easton. Like this is the type of traffic that they would be expecting. You know, they're not going to get 15, 16,000 hits on their website for a local home renovations company in a month. It's just not going to happen. There's not that many people where we live. But if they get no leads from 1,500, it's a problem. There's a big problem. Messaging problem, lead capture problem on their website. There's issues. Right? So what's the moment this turns from annoying into holy shit? Okay, so real quick, what are the 5 questions? I want to hear from you guys.
What's
What
the real
is-
enemy? Define it.
Yeah, what's the real enemy? Define it. Good. Thank you, Easton. What else?
Number 2, if they don't change anything, what's going to be worse in the next 90 days? How's this
Love it.
villain going to get bigger and nastier?
Yeah,
if you do
perfect.
nothing?
Perfect. Thank you, Gary. Who's next? Who wants to do number 3?
Sure. What gets even worse
Worse
after
than
number
that.
2?
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Perfect. And what's number 4?
What are you actually doing to feed the mouse?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I figured that would be Gigi's favorite. Okay. Yeah, for sure. And what's number 5?
What's the moment this turns into annoying and what's the moment this turns from annoying into a holy shit?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. In Gigi's case, do they find themselves yelling at their kids for no reason? right? We've all
Oh,
had that
oh,
moment, right?
oh, your kids start picking up the same habits.
Yeah, that too, right? You realize, oh my gosh, they're mirroring the same
Mm-hmm.
crappy behavior.
Yeah.
Lisa, how about you? What's a holy shit moment for one of your prospects?
What's the holy shit moment for?
One of your prospects.
Well, when they realize that they're living in a loop patterns that they didn't realize, and they realize, oh, this happened, and then I did this, and this happened again, and then it happened again and again, and I've been doing this my whole life. Why am I doing this?
Mm-hmm.
No, they just thought that was life.
Love it. Yep, absolutely. Andrew, how about you? What's a holy shit moment for your client?
I guess mine would be if they're in a rising house environment that we're not going to be able to actually afford it anymore if we don't act now or something like that.
Totally. Yeah. Yep. Love it. Good. So does this help? You guys having a big bad mouse? This makes sense? Okay. Do you want me to give you my favorite question though? My absolute favorite one? Secret question number 6. Okay. What story are they telling themselves? Critical. What story are they telling themselves that protects the mouse? Keeps that mouse safe from you getting at it, from you slaying it with them. What story are they telling themselves that protects the mouse? Right? In Andrew's case, this is well, I'll never be able to afford a house anyway, right? Or I hear all the time from younger people, you know what? The previous generation screwed us. We're just never going to be able to buy a house anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Gigi's nodding. She's probably heard that 100 times from her kids. Right? I'm never going to get there. I can't get by. Look at the price of groceries. Blah, 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 blah. Right? Well, don't buy the $80,000 car, kiddo, and maybe you'd have some more money kicking around.
Yeah.
Right? Stop Uber Eatsing everything in your house and go to the grocery store. But what stories are they telling themselves that protect this mouse? They are guarding it literally with their lives.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not kidding. Like Eason, your clients are guarding this mouse with their lives because it is the fundamental stories of their belief system. And this gets all the way back to what we initially started talking about. What was the first thing I said about selling somebody something? 35 minutes ago. What did I say about selling? You guys wrote 2 different things down. What was it?
People don't buy when I believe it. People buy when they believe it.
Correct.
And then people believe their words way faster than they believe my words.
That's right. And so let's put the final lid on that, Gary. What creates your beliefs?
My values.
Your stories. Your values are driven by stories, my friend. The stories that you tell yourself that are true. They are written on the amygdala of your mind. Right? One of the things that everybody who I attract to me in my life that does business with me, there's a fundamental part of them that is the same story. We share it. And there's very few, but we share this one fundamental thing. You and I all agree that we're not done yet. We're not finished. We're on an evolutionary and a transformational experience, and we are looking for people that want and love the same thing. They also believe they're not done yet. All of us, we come from fundamentally different religious backgrounds, different social backgrounds, different interests. But we all believe in a couple of fundamental things, and one of them is that none of us are finished. Doesn't matter how old we are. We could be in our 30s, our 20s, our 60s, 70s even. We're not finished. We're not done yet. So what happens is when you're selling to somebody, you guys, and you've got their attention with the big bad mouse. You've defined it, you're talking to it, they're aware of it, you're starting to help them understand the monster they're up against. You're given permission to access the mid part of the brain, which is a very delicate and safe space. And inside that area of the mind, you can start to make sure that the story they tell themselves about what you're offering is the same story that they want to have solved. So your words into their mind become their words because it's their new story. Lisa's able to help people when they have finally decided they want to get out of the loop. Right? But she has to do the content and the marketing to display the big bad mouse, so to get their attention, to open up the possibility, to then start to install the words like, are you stuck in a loop? Are you trapped in this series of events? Do you find yourself repeating the same behavior over and over again? And they say, yes, I do. Yes, I do. I am repeating the same behavior, so that when she finally gets to the sale moment and she says, look, do you find yourself repeating the same behavior? That story she planted there. And now your words have become their words because they believe the same story you believe. And that's when they say yes.
Yeah, Michael, Jamie has been going on Facebook and public and telling his story about that loop, right?
Yeah.
Making himself vulnerable and, trying to connect with them that way
Yeah.
by not making it up and talking about science and whatever, but he's talking about his own life and what
Sure.
happened to him.
Yeah. And so when you do that and you put it into context for somebody, right? You paint it as a parable or a fable that there is an answer at the end for them. Then it makes sense. Then it's valuable. Then it's powerful.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. So any thoughts on that, you guys? Everyone's gone quiet. Do you?
Yeah, I'm having a challenge answering the questions for my case.
Mhm. That was always going to be the flaw, Gary.
Yeah, yeah,
Right? Is how easy it is also the flaw.
right.
So
Yeah, it's just like in so much personal development stuff. So easy to do, so easy not to do.
that's right. That's right. Yeah. Okay, so now, quick thing. We are going to be evolving some things here with what we're doing with time. And just really transparently, you guys, it's because I finally figured out, I don't want to put this, the thing that I'm really gifted at that helps people the most, which is communication. Whether it's through marketing messaging, whether it's through sales, whether it's through leadership, building your teams, whatever it is, my real gift and specialty is being able to communicate effectively and communicate powerfully. I've been using it through a marketing agency lens for a while. But to be very transparent, that's not serving me the way it needs to and the way I want it to. So it's not that I'm going to be dropping any of the marketing stuff or anything like that. I'm just shifting things to being more foundational, which is that you'll see me do way more content that is about communication and how to lead better and how to talk more effectively, right? And the whole premise here is that I'm going to shift even some of what we're talking about through Access Pass into just about establishing a really effective communication message, right, with your business, what you're doing, because I've fundamentally realized that everything that I wind up talking about and everything that we wind up working on together all comes down to that, doesn't it? And if you can get really great at communicating, the world is your oyster, my friends. Everything falls into place, right? Because people now hear you. People now see you. In a very noisy world, the one who actually builds trust and communicates best, in my opinion, is going to win. So that'll be a really foundational shift that you will feel and then eventually see with what we do. Now, with that in mind, I'm playing with some naming conventions as far as things go. We will be moving away from the concept of content to cash. I think that's just too limiting for what we actually want to be helping people with. It'll be a program within our program because that concept is still very effective, right? But it won't be what we hang our hat on completely. Does that make sense? Okay. Just I haven't made any naming convention decisions or anything, but just I'm pre-warning you that there will be some evolutions to that as we go forward. Don't be shocked if I'm suddenly like, hey, everybody, this is the new brand, this is the new logo, this is the new name, blah, 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 blah. I'm just preemptively warning y'all. Okay. So that was my my PSA for that particular part. And let's wrap things up here by hearing a little bit from you guys. What were some aha moments or eureka moments from today? Was this, by show of thumbs up, was this valuable today? Did you get some good stuff out of it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. What was some of the things that popped out for you? Anybody want to share? You're muted again there, Eason. No problem, Lisa. Great seeing you.
Better?
Yeah, gotcha.
Oh, sorry. Mine, it's the 4 wallets, right? And then part B of it was connecting it to part C. What things get worse? Because I've always compared it to A and B, where it's money versus time, but adding the 4, it paints a bigger picture.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, money and time are the least of our worries quite often. Yep. Perfect. Thanks, Eason. Love it.
I think for me, it was I love the analogy of building a bigger mouse and not concentrating on the mouse trap. That's like really powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be a phenomenal mental shift for you, Gigi.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm thinking about even in my content, how that would change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And part of what I love about that concept, you guys, is that it takes the pressure off you having a unique solution all the time.
Mm.
Right?
Mhm.
It's not about your unique solution, or as a lot of us have heard, is your unique value proposition, your UVP or anything like that. It's about ensuring that your audience understands how big and nasty the mouse is that you fight for them or fight with them. And you're the only one pointing out how dangerous it is. And if you're the only one pointing out how dangerous it is, then you become the obvious choice to help them solve it. Especially if you add scarcity. Right? Darinka, how about you, my dear? We haven't heard from you a ton this morning.
I really like that last question, number 6. what story are they telling themselves that protects the most? That I really like that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even stupid stuff like, oh, raw food's way more expensive, right? This is going to cost me way more money.
It's gonna
That's a huge pattern interrupt. It's a huge pattern interrupt because people aren't even aware of what they're protecting.
Nope. They don't. No, they're totally not. But this gets back, Gigi, to that like midbrain concept, right? This is their story. This is their fundamental belief. They, Gary was talking about your core values or the it's like,
Even up into your identity.
all the way up, right? This is all about what story you're telling yourself.
Yeah.
Right? And so there's lots of different angles into this permission marketing, all the stuff. You guys have heard me use the term like the backdoor to your brain, right? But all of it comes down to this fundamental principle, and that people are going to believe and buy what they believe, right? So there's almost no point in arguing through the neocortex to try and get them to change their belief by semantics and logic and science and data. It just doesn't work. You're fighting against every piece of defense mechanism that brain has. Right? And Andrew, it makes logical sense to go and buy the house. The problem is that you're fighting logic versus logic. How am I supposed to find the money? Blah, 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 blah. If you speak to those deeper stories that they're telling themselves, that I'll never have the money to do it, you speak to those stories, you can start to rewrite the story. Literally scrape it off and rewrite the story that's going on in the middle part of their mind. And this is why we love personal development so much, Gary, because it is the tool set to write our own story.
Yeah.
Right?
Definitely.
It's this wide variety of different tools to go in and scratch off what was there, chisel off what we built, and start polishing it into something new and different. And it's the same principles, but there's lots of different tools to get in there, right? Lots of different access points, and some work for some people and others work for others, right? Which is why you can have guys like, Napoleon Hill says things differently than Jim Rohn, who says things differently than Tony Robbins, who says things differently than, what is her name? Anyway, I like all these different
Mel
people.
Robbins.
Mel Robbins, right? They all come at the same problem with a slightly different
Tweak.
framework or terminology, so that one resonates with Gigi and that one now works for her, right? That helps her rewrite that story versus what somebody else has said. If we understand them as a wide set of tools to accomplish the same thing, then it helps us go, okay, I can pick and choose what works for me. Right? But it becomes your job as entrepreneurs to figure out how to get into the mind of your prospect and help them rewrite that story. That's when the marketing works, you guys. That's when your message becomes magnetic, fundamentally speaking. So as we wrap things up, I just want to say to you guys, I love you very much. Thank you very much for being here. It's been fabulous. I am running 10 free 90-minute market to message offers for you guys. I'm going to do 10 of them. I'm laying out a new structure for how I want to run these. I will charge $400 for these in the future. $400 for 90 minutes where I help you match your market and your message and make them align. Right? So that when you're speaking, people actually want to hear you. They want to listen. So I'm going to do this 10 times for free for you guys and a few other people. Okay. If you want one of those, just either message me in the group or message me privately and we'll find a time to run that. Because I'm using you as my lab rats here to flesh out my system, to help me put the pieces together in the right order. And I want to give you tons of value in those 90 minutes to make sure that If you've been here and not getting one-on-one attention necessarily, but you could really use that, then by all means, let's make sure that happens. But we both get a ton out of that 90 minutes, right? It gets me a chance to stretch and flex and refine my system, while at the same time gives you guys a chance to really hone in and zero in on what you want. So let me know if anybody wants that. You can let me know in the group chat or private chat. Totally fine. We'll schedule it over the next couple weeks. And as I said, I will do 10 of these. If you know anybody else, like Easton, you know a lot of business people. If anybody wants one of these, let them know that I'm happy to do one for them. But I'm only going to do 10. And it's only going to happen before the end of February. After that, I'm going to put a price tag on it, and we'll be going from there. All right.
Yeah, I'll bring it up tomorrow. for
Okay.
sure.
Sounds good, you guys. Lots of love from me to you. Have a fantastic Thursday. And Gary, all your stuff will be moved from Kajabi into Hourglass within the next few days, my friend.
Okay, sweet. And I just uploaded, we were talking about that other website. I just uploaded a bunch of stuff in the Dropbox between us.
Oh,
I've got-
the Dropbox. Okay.
Yeah, I've got a bunch of videos and all that kind of thing that may help with that website.
Okay. Sounds cool.
All
All right, guys.
Sweet. God bless.
Cheers.
Yeah,
Bye.
man.
Thank you,
Bye, guys.
Michael.
Thanks, Mike.
You bet. Bye,
Hey,
guys.
Michael.
Have a good one.
You too. Ciao for now.